This is Sean's video 3 of 5, bipolar or waking up. And it's 8 minutes and 37 seconds long. That doesn't include my blabbery ass. It's called Handcuffed. Huh, I've been that. Oh, I was mad. I got that on tape too. Shit.
Feeling much calmer. And then security guards started to come in.
Hey.
And I interpreted these security guards as angels.
No, they were the devil too, bastard.
So I was eager to work with people. I wasn't fighting anybody off. And they told me to come with them, and I did.
I'm a fighter.
But then when we got to the door of the ballroom, I refused to take my shirt or put my shirt back on. I just refused to do it. I thought if I'm going to meet God somehow, I'm
going to be naked, damn it.
Brought into this world. I wasn't ashamed of my body, and I was going to leave without my shirt. And this was not acceptable to them. So then they started to bring in people from the Niagara Forum and
never have, never
people who were running the course. And I started to really get a sense of who is good to work with, who could I trust, who could I love, and who was just trying to manipulate me and scare me, and who were trying to be the authoritative figures. And
I don't like authority and never have. Somehow think I never will.
Controlling aspect. And they brought people in telling me things very bad were going to happen to me, and I needed to, put my clothes on. And when one woman came in, the leader of the course, and told me that I needed to put my clothes on, I took my pants off, and so now I was in my underwear. And they really didn't know what to do with me. I was still looking for a way to get to heaven. I don't know which way I needed to go. They brought my father in as he was there, and he asked me to think about my mother and what this would do to her.
My mother needs to think about
very strongly that this would be very disturbing for her, but then I needed to sit with that fear and think about that I was going through an illusion, that this was a test to go to heaven, and I needed to let that go, and I needed to be prepared to even let my own family go.
No way.
Which I was.
They can go if they want.
Sadly enough, I was prepared to let that go in order to move on to the next level. Well, I don't know how long it took, but eventually 2 police officers arrived, and they gave me a choice:
2?
Psychiatric institution or jail.
How come you only have 2?
I told them that I was choosing peace.
I called the motherfuckers on myself.
On the wall, and because this was all
they didn't take me nowhere in Arizona. That video's on here.
By turning off the light switches, I would be annihilating myself in a sort of another death process and moving on to the next level. So when they told me that they had to take me to one of these places, I moved for the light switches and went to turn them off. And with that, it was a kind of a surrender to God, a suicide in a sense of giving up my own body, even though I knew that I would continue living in another level. But before I got to the light switches, the police got me and got me on the ground, and I still got the scar.
Okay, there's one thing I gotta say. I'm not going to say names or dates, but I think that the greatest part of my spiritual awakening was when I had a pregnancy in late 2009, or was it 2010? I don't know. There goes that sense of timelessness again. It seems like it's all just a big blur. Right before I went to Arizona, I was living with my best friend, rest his soul, Kevin, and there was an intruder, an armed intruder, who came into our house and was looking for his girlfriend, and my kids were there with me, and they were asleep upstairs, some of them. My youngest was downstairs in her crib. She was a baby, and he got on top of my daughter, Destiny, and with some great adrenaline rush or something, I picked his big ass up off of my kid and said, "What are you doing here? What do you want?" Because he just busted in. And the father of my youngest child, I know that sounds bad, as pussy as he is, I'm not sorry for saying it either, cowered down, tells everybody he's a hero, cowered down, And this guy got in the house. Well, okay, Army, if you're such a hero, where the fuck were you at when I was picking his big ass off my kids? And when he attacked me and threw me against the wall, causing my placenta to separate, or my uterus, and miscarry that baby. Pussy. I still love you though, you little jerk. And I don't have a choice. We have a child together and you're a little turd. Yeah, so everybody should know that. Clayton Joe Levy is not the hero he says he is. He can brag about his scar all he wants. All that is just a cover for him because he's not willing to go through the pain and everything he needs to deal with from his own childhood and his own life in order to grow as a person spiritually or anything else. Anyway, right around before this time, I was with someone, and we were at his job, and he got a call that his sister had, ooh, I hate even saying that, taken her own life. They said she was bipolar too, but I don't think so. She was very, very bright, brilliant writer, smiling, happy, dancing. I really didn't get, I really didn't get a chance. I wasn't lucky enough really to get to know her, but I had met her and we had talked to her that day before, and she was sad, and people had bullied her boyfriend had, and spit on her, and just horrible. You can't treat people that way, especially not good people. She was a good girl, you could tell that if you didn't even know her. And that really hit me like a ton of bricks, to watch the person I was with lose his sister like that. And I had had previous suicide attempts. In fact, he saved my life, from one of them. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful, even though I tried to jump out his truck door on the Topeka Boulevard Bridge. Anyway, we went through a lot together. And I can't help but think that we were brought into each other's lives for a reason. Because without that experience, I could be dead. I didn't value my life. I thought it was just pure shit, and I haven't tried to kill myself since then. Now, I'm not saying other people haven't tried to kill me, because I married a stranger during a psychosis, and I decided I was going to do this while I was in Yuma, Arizona at Mountain Health and Wellness Center, which is a mental hospital. Yep, they had to shut down the whole unit because I was throwing a fit over a remote. Because I wanted to watch the country music channel and not the stupid effing football. And my grandma and my friend, Justin, Russell effing Hendricks, who's running from himself still, waited down there till I was done throwing my fit, and they gave me my shot. And then I don't remember anybody coming to see me at all. I was there for a month, and my dad came to see me. Janine did. Justin came to see me, he said, like 11 times. I remember him coming to see me like twice, and my grandma coming to see me like twice. That's it. That's how medicated I was. They were like, here you go, shut up, and I hope you like slobber, because that's what you'll be sleeping in. I don't know what I did or what I said. I just know that I figured out what medications I was allergic to at that time. I really am allergic to Haldol. It causes my throat to swell shut, and then they had to give me another shot of something to counteract it, some Benadryl or something similar to it. But that wouldn't be my last day in a mental institution. But I gotta tell you, I met some really cool people in there that I have a lot in common with, and one of my good friends and supporters that I was with in Larned, named April Hart, she passed away. I don't know if her mom told me that she had a seizure And then she suffocated in a pile of clothes, and that's a horrible way to die, to suffocate, because I've not been able to breathe before, and it's terrifying. And I don't think that's what happened. She'd been really depressed and not happy where she was. In fact, I was in California living with my friend Scott, and had been talking to her over the phone, and I thought, that I was coming back to California that winter, this last year, and we were going to live together, and we were going to work in the mental institution together and help all the crazy people. And I've always had this sense and this need to help other people going through the same thing, kind of like Sean. Anyway, with that, I'm going to finish this long-ass video.
The light switches, the police grabbed me and got me on the ground, and I still got the scars on my shoulder from the carpet burns. They put me in the stretcher.
I fell asleep on a barbed wire fence. I overdosed on Klonopin, cocaine,
I still remember
sleeping pills,
oh God, this is the craziest way to get
alcohol.
to
And I was on my way over the fence because I hung my belt that was too big, that I had bought for that reason, on a tower here in the back of Montera. And the great
those handcuffs on,
Osage County beamed my phone down and sent emergency responders.
And they asked me, why was I taking this course?
Which was the fire station.
That I felt handcuffed in my life. It was as if I couldn't move for 4 years of my career. And I had always been a very intelligent person. Went to university, got high grades, no problems. And then all of a sudden, getting into my career, I was just stuck all the time. And no matter what I did, it seemed like I was always stuck. Handcuffed. And so now here I am, feeling completely free, completely at ease with everything going on around me, and I'm handcuffed and in a stretcher in this ambulance.
I'm faster than the police in Topeka. If one does not understand a person, one tends to what? Oh well. You guys can watch it for yourselves if you even care.
Well, once they took me, two very nice police officers, by the way, took me to the hospital.
Topeka PD, nice. Gotta be out of your
And
mind.
I guess because they had restrained me, my arms and legs
Sheriffs
were
are
dead,
nice.
it felt like my voice was my only weapon, my only way to connect with people.
Jacob Henry.
And I really had people around me, and they kept isolating me. And so I would yell for them, and I would yell to people, and I wanted some attention, and they kept isolating me. I don't know why. And then I guess the psychiatrist came in, and I was really in need of connection and human contact and trust and love, all of these things. And he sat down in his chair with his little clipboard, and he said to me, what happened? And I told him, I said, look, I don't really want to talk to a doctor. I want to talk to a person.
I want to talk to the fucking church.
And he said, my name is Dr. Chin. And I told him, I said, well, what's your first name? And he said, my name is Dr. Chin. And right away, I knew I was dealing with someone who wasn't going to give me what I needed. So I started calling him F, because on his little badge I could see he was Dr. F. Chin. I'd call him F.
Fucker.
And even though I knew he wasn't going to listen to a word that I said, that he wasn't going to believe anything I said, I thought, what the hell? I'll just tell him my story. I've gone this far. Maybe this is another test. And I started to tell him how I was having this mystic experience with God, and that I was opening myself to the world, and that
I saw angels.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
And I figured, who knows?
6 of them.
Well, my father stayed with me a while, and he touched my back, which was something that I really appreciated, having that touch there. And my mother came in, and I was very happy to see her.
My mom didn't go anywhere. She called the fucking...
And then seeing all these people come back, people that I thought I was never going to see again because I was going to heaven, I was quite happy. I was very excited. And I even thought my friends from Vancouver were going to be there too. So, comments like this made people think that I was just nuts, which maybe I was.
I thought in Arizona, I was just waiting for you guys too, Dr. Guzman. I waited for the people of Yuma to come out to the hospital with picket signs to free Sara Nelle. Ain't that some shit?
maybe I was. But I wouldn't shut up.
Oh, imagine that.
I wanted to talk, and at one point I got the feeling that the staff couldn't even hear me, and I was
Hello?
screaming at them. I was like, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And
No, they're not
thinking
listening
that
to
maybe
you.
they were deaf.
Shut
I don't know. I was in a weird world, right? And they came in at one point, 6 of them, and then they had this needle, and I didn't know what that needle was going to do to me, but I knew that what I was going through was very sacred, and that needed to be respected. And I told the doctor repeatedly, I do not want that needle. I do not want that needle. And then I decided to negotiate, and I said to him, look, if you take that needle away, I'll calm down. I will calm down and won't say anything. Can you do that? And he said, okay. And I laid down.
Where were you? I should have been there. They didn't listen to
I
me.
laid down flat. I laid down calm. And then the entire staff put their hands on me, and then went to stick the needle in.
Motherfuckers!
And I was
Trick me,
furious,
motherfuckers!
and I said some things to the nurse
Rotten
who
bastards.
had the needle, and to the doctor that I won't mention in this video, but it was pretty vulgar, and it was
I ain't afraid.
It was just, it was rape to me. What they did to me in that hospital with the needle was a form of rape. It was a spiritual rape.
Yes, it was those
And I
bastards.
told that doctor, I said, how can I trust you after
Curse
this?
them.
And for me, after that, he was nothing. He was dead to me.
I ended up loving Dr. Guzman, though. He's a shit. Rides a Harley, too.
And
I'll be back, Dr. Guzman. I'll be back.
Then they left me.
To help
I guess
you
that made them
figure
feel
this
better.
out. Because
They
I
should
know
have
you
given
could
themselves
get
a
it if I just
tranquilizer.
help you. Alright, let's watch video 4. To be continued, people. To be continued.